This is the Halloween special on the AVNJ channel. For a long time, I've been watching videos about scariest fish, spookiest fish, most dangerous fish. And for a long time I've been asked, when will he make a list? When will Zach tell us his 10 scariest fish? And you know, I put it off because honestly, I didn't think fish were that scary. You know, even the top 10 that I could come up with didn't even seem worth making a list out of. But then I heard Halloween was coming up, and I knew what I had to do. So this is the top 10 scariest fish. I want to preface this by saying, there are not 10 scary fish. There are maybe 4 max, so a lot of these are kind of BS, but I'll give real reasons, okay? So, just know that when I say certain things are scary, I don't always, mean that they're actually scary. I just mean that, like, if I had to make a list of 10, this is what I've got. Number 1, lionfish. Now, the lionfish is scary specifically to me. I worked at a fish store, and we had a lionfish. And on my first day working at that fish store, he told me, if you ever put your hand in the lionfish tank and get stung, I will leave you there to die. This is something that my actual employer at the age of 14 told me. That if I got stung by a lionfish while cleaning the tank, that he would leave me there to die. So, I have a little bit of a fear of lionfish. Kinda don't want to go near those things very much, you know what I'm saying? But in addition, they're also just scary because they have the venomous spines. They look pretty, so a lot of people are attracted to them. And they're everywhere. And they're most spooky because of their impact on the environment. That was the cheesiest thing I've ever said, but it's true. They are terrible for the environment as invasive species. Number 9, the electric eel. Now, I didn't used to be scared of the electric eel because I didn't used to know a lot about it. But recently, I watched a certain video of Brave Wilderness, Coyote Peterson, getting stung by an electric eel, and it convinced me that I never ever want to fuck with an electric eel. And also, my ichthyology teacher, my fish teacher, tells this story about how he caught he did a seining net in the ocean, right, to catch a bunch of fish. When he brought the fish up, the fish were jumping up and down over and over again. Like, all of the fish were jumping up and down, like, really quickly. And they thought that, like, there was a big flounder on the bottom or something that was pushing, was flopping them all up. And he reached in to pull out the big flounder. And what he found was a torpedo ray, which is an electric ray, which is similar to the electric eel. And it shocked him and he had to go to the hospital. So I'm not fucking with electric fish. He also just looks like a grandpa. And I feel like he looks like a war criminal. And yeah. War criminal with electricity is a no from me. And also, water's really conductive of electricity. So the last place you want to fuck with something that has lightning powers is in the water. Number 8. Wels catfish. This one also has a story behind it. This is the largest growing catfish. I mean, you could see these things right here could easily swallow these people whole. This dude could easily swallow this dude whole. So, I lived near, I don't anymore, the deepest water body in my state. And it's so deep, in fact, it's freshwater, that people learn to dive there. So they do diving missions because the reservoir, if you guys don't know, the way that they make reservoirs is they flood a valley, right? So they take a valley, they dam off the opening, and then they flood it with water, and then that creates a reservoir. But there was a town, a Native American town at the bottom of this valley, and so they moved all the natives out, dammed it, and flooded it with water. You can go scuba diving and dive down like 100 and something feet and see like a wrecked, abandoned Native American town. And apparently, most people only ever go down there once because they see a catfish large enough to swallow them whole. I've talked to multiple people who went diving in that reservoir and decided to never come back up. Never go back down again because there were catfish there that could eat them whole. Also, multiple people go missing in the reservoir every year. It's actually considered a really dangerous place to swim because a lot of people go missing. Who knows why, but the giant catfish sounds like a reasonable explanation to me. And I swam in there a lot as a kid. Number 7. The tiger shark. This one is just scary because tiger sharks are literally the goats of the ocean. And not in like the goats like greatest of all time way. They're scary. They're goats in like the way that they eat literally everything. Tiger sharks will bite and eat and chew on everything. They eat tires. They eat like random plastic bits off the ground. So unlike other sharks, like great whites, if they bite you, or bull sharks, if they bite you, they're mistaking you for food. You know, they don't actually intend to bite you as a human. Tiger sharks, there's a decent chance they don't care what you are. They're just biting because they bite. They are eating machines. And that's why it's scary to be around a tiger shark, because you can't use the whole logic of, oh, just don't act like a seal, you know? Just don't act, you know, normal, and it's fine, and the shark won't attack you. Number 6. The Goonch. If you guys haven't seen the episode of River Monsters where this happens, you need to, because shit is insane. Basically, there was a legend in this native area that there was this giant tooth-looking catfish that lived in these murky rivers and would eat people when they went swimming or when they went fishing or whatever. And no one really knew a lot about it, and Jeremy Wade went down and did a River Monsters episode on it and caught one. Basically proved that this thing is out here and it's aggressive. It's this gigantic catfish with these sharp teeth. It has the size at full grown to just take down a full-grown man, drown them underwater, and eat them. And it basically is confirmed to have killed multiple people in the river. So, although it is one of my favorite fish because it's very cool, definitely a very scary fish. Number 5. The great white shark. Shark is responsible for the most attacks on humans. So basically it's the stupidest shark, because although the tiger shark will eat anything and the great white shark doesn't want to eat humans, the great white shark somehow is still attacking more humans than the tiger shark, which is absolutely absurd. Great white sharks, I guess, just are around people more is the explanation. Tiger sharks aren't as often in areas where people are swimming. You can't set aside the amount of attacks, because the reality is fish aren't really scary. If you compare like bear attacks to anything, like all fish attacks combined to just bears, it's not even fucking close, right? Fish aren't really scary, but if you're gonna list the most scary fish, you have to include the one that is doing the most attacks. This doesn't mean that I actually think sharks are very scary, but, you know. Number 4, stonefish. Everyone should not be surprised with this one. This thing's terrify me. Look at how well they blend in to the seafloor. You would never see this thing like free diving, scuba diving, snorkeling. You would never ever see this. Right here you might see it because this is an aquarium. But here you would never see that. And if you stand on it, boom, venom injected right into you, can paralyze you. And if you're scuba diving alone, free diving alone, you just die. You can just drown because you can't move in the water. You'll run out of oxygen. This is so prevalent in like small nations where they're on the coast and, you know, they walk out into tide pools and such to catch fish and to do other various activities, that humans actually have an antidote for this venom. So basically the message is never go out in these tide pool areas alone, because if you get stung, not much can be done for you. All right, guys, we're into the top 3 spookiest fish. Number 3, Goliath tigerfish. This to me is my never, ever, ever do I ever want to come in contact with fish. Because unlike other fish where it's like, oh, teeth equals scary, this fish is actually aggressive, actually responsible for attacks on humans, actually in freshwater areas where people are living and swimming, actually has attacked people before, and can rip you the fuck apart. This is not a fish that you want to fuck with. To me, this is probably the scariest, like, actual fish, because it's just in a river and it attacks people. It's not like barracuda. It's got that like barracuda-like form and you're like, oh, big teeth, must be scary. But no, it actually is attacking people. It's scary, it's fast, it's aggressive, and it's known to attack people. It's known to attack crocodiles. Not something you want to get in the water with. Number 2, the bull shark. Now this is above the other sharks despite having less attacks for one key reason. The bull shark is known to go into freshwater. So unlike the rest of sharks, where, you know, you go into the ocean and, you know, you're expecting some sharks, bull sharks, you can just be swimming in your local river. They go as far up, I think it's like Michigan or something, on the Mississippi River they've been seen. Something insane like that. They can go so far away from saltwater. You can literally be in your backyard stream river, like hundreds of miles away from the ocean, and get attacked by a bull shark. This is, I think, a top shark because it gives you that sense of security. Where like, oh, I'm in freshwater. There's nothing that really attacks people in freshwater, especially in the United States, you know? You don't think that, like, there's something in there that could actually attack you. And for me, that makes it scary. Like, I swam in Lake Erie. I've heard reports of bull sharks in Lake Erie. That's a freshwater lake, like, hundreds of miles from the nearest ocean. They can get literally everywhere. They are not as, like, you know, insanely aggressive as, like, tigers, where they're just biting everything. So running into one doesn't mean that you have to, you know, necessarily be scared or that you're going to get attacked or anything. But, still, having giant sharks in your local river is, you know, not the best. All right, are you guys ready for number 1? The spookiest fish of all of the fish. The pinnate batfish. Now I know what you're thinking. How could that tiny thing be spooky? Because it's got a cool orange glow. Look at the cool orange glow. Look at how he glows. Isn't he so spooky and Halloween themed? Yay! Spooky. He really, if any fish is going with the Halloween theme, it's the pinnate batfish as a juvenile. It's the spookiest fish. Yes, everyone be scared. Why is it scary? It's not. It's spooky. Is it deadly or poisonous? Nope, no venom, no poison. Just a batfish with a cool orange glow. He's always ready for Halloween. Whoa.